Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another video for The Division. Now, if you missed last week's video, then I spoke more about some of the recent rumours surrounding the game and some information that supposedly came from alpha testers with regards to the number of players in the Dark Zone and how Dark Zones will work. So, if you haven't seen that, then be sure to check it out. It was also GDC last week, and as of yet we haven't seen anything from The Division despite there being not one, but two talks during the show. Hopefully it just means they are readying something awesome for us, which we will see very soon, and as always, once I know, you'll know. But enough of that, that is not why you're here, you are here for today's video, and today, I'm going to talk about factions. A new post or intelligence annex went up on the official Division website yesterday, and the topic was the cleaners. No, not the guys that tidy up their office when they go home, I mean one of the Division's factions. So I figured in today's video, I would give you a quick summary of what you need to know from that post, and then talk more broadly about the concept of factions and what this could mean. So first up, the cleaners. Remember this cutscene with the angry looking dudes with the flamethrowers? Alright, fair enough, we don't actually know they're angry, they do have masks on, but let's just assume that they are, otherwise that would be really creepy. Who wields a flamethrower while smiling? If that's you, comment down below. But anyway, sorry, I digress. The cleaners, who are they? Well, before I answer that question, let's look at how they came to be. See, in order for a faction like this, or any other, to even make it into the game, it needs to fulfill the following criteria. Firstly, is the faction plausible? In other words, does it fit into the realistic and believable world that is being crafted? Then, is the faction appealing, and do they have something cool or fun about them? Well, I'd say the flamethrower alone already ticks that box. Does the faction allow for a variety of gameplay mechanics? In other words, will they be able to fit into the various scenarios the Division has lined up for both the players and the world? Is the faction a direct threat to the Division and their wider cause? I'd say that rolling around on a garbage truck spraying fire everywhere in ominous looking masks is a pretty considerable threat. So yeah. And lastly, does the faction fit within the theme and tone of the game? Well, again, given that it's all about the aftermath of this virus, I'd say being geared from head to toe in biohazard gear is pretty fitting. But in other words, so long as they aren't dinosaur riding space ninjas, it's probably alright. Not that I'd be averse to dinosaurs. If you're watching this guys, dinosaurs do genuinely belong in every game, honest. Anyway, once all the above criteria have been ticked, then the team can actually begin building out the concept. Now while at the moment there's still much we don't know, and I imagine once we get close to launch, or an alpha or beta, then perhaps we'll find out a bit more about the story and the characters themselves, but for the time being, just know that the cleaners are basically out to mess up your day. If it walks, they burn it. Civilian, other players, resources, okay resources don't walk, but you get the idea. It's most likely their extremist way of dealing with the virus. It is said that if you see signs of the virus in the game, the cleaners likely won't be far away. They probably feel that by burning everything they can simply help eradicate the virus. Now the post also said that the cleaners, while very organised and in control of certain areas, do roam the map in an effort to, as stated above, eliminate the virus, and because of this your engagements with them will vary. You could be in the middle of a firefight trying to take back a police station for example, and they could just roll up and get involved. So it seems like no matter where you go, they will be a constant threat. Now let me move slightly away from the cleaners for a second and talk about the wider concept of factions. See, there are a couple more points in this post that caught my eye. It was stated that one of the easiest ways to engage with the cleaners, given their unique and rather dangerous weaponry, was to ambush them whilst they tangle with other factions. So this means there are more factions we have yet to see, which is really exciting. I mean, it's kind of a given when you have a post-apocalyptic scenario, all the crazies come out the woodwork and they think they can save the world, so they set up their own groups with their own ideals and attempt to save the day, but more often than not end up becoming a menace. But the question I would then ask is, can we expect to see faction-specific loot? I mean, the only reason I'd ever want to go face to face with a flamethrower wielding maniac is if I can become that flamethrower wielding maniac myself. And given that in the recent Division podcast they did reference exotic weaponry, maybe I can get that flamethrower after all. Also, if you saw my video on influence, you'll know that by completing certain actions you can control certain zones within the city. I then speculated that controlling these zones would lead to further areas and scenarios being unlocked, and I also mentioned how we likely have to strike a balance between venturing out and returning to protect those spaces we held. Now we know that there are factions like the cleaners that roam around the world and they already control space themselves. Could it be that the concept of influence is now much more than just a personal struggle to regain control, but instead becomes a constant battle with surrounding factions to hold large portions of the city? Perhaps, while saving the day and finding a cure for the virus, you also need to constantly protect areas you own, in inverted commas, to ensure complete control of the city. Speculation upon speculation. But that is what I love about this game. Right now, while information is sparse, that is what makes things interesting. And on that note, that brings me to the end of this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the concept of factions, and what would you like to see from factions in the Division. And if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you're not already part of the Arekkz Gaming Nation, then hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.